Your local Carrier dealers. Lakeland University, Z-Bar,
Canton, we're tied!
Cannon and Dumphy, Loyal Family Renovations, Tsunami Express Car Wash, Steamfitters Local 601, Big Fish Contracting, SVA, a professional services company, WeatherTight, and Network Health on the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
As you're cheering on your favorite team, leave your home comfort to Carrier. Whether it's keeping your current heating and cooling system running smoothly or upgrading to a new one, your local Carrier dealer has got you covered. Plus, now is the perfect time to step up your comfort game with a Carrier home comfort system. Receive tax credits of up to $2,600 when you choose a qualifying Carrier heating and cooling system. Turn to the experts at Carrier and ask about tax credits, local rebates, and financing available for qualified buyers. Carrier, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Find your local dealer at carriermilwaukee.com.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings could up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Nursing students often endure long wait lists, but Concordia University, Wisconsin ensures entry into their nursing program upon acceptance. Broad exposure prepares CUW students for diverse nursing specialties with hands-on clinical experience in hospitals and other healthcare settings, leading to high job placement rates for graduates. CUW provides a faith-based education with a focus on holistic care. Graduates are prepared to address patients' physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. Your journey awaits at cuw.edu/bucks.
In baseball, players spend time in the minors before making it. That's not the case with union construction trades like the operating engineers. As a union apprentice, you earn good money while you learn a trade. And graduates from union apprenticeship programs earn 41% more than their non-union counterparts. They even earn more than a typical worker with a master's degree. So if you are ready to earn big league bucks, go to join139.com to learn more.
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ. It's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from American Family Field, here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
That is more like it. The Brewers get the victory over the Braves today, 4-1. That magic number, 4 runs, popping up once again. Great work from Quinn Priester. Great work from the bullpen. Offense had just enough. We'll talk about the offense, too, and maybe an exciting call-up on the way. That news broke earlier today. We'll react to all of it with Jerry Augustine in just a little bit. First, let's get you caught up to speed. It's been a minute since we've been able to do a highlight recap, so let's relive the highlights.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Brought it back! Ho, ho, ho!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
All right, Game 2 against the Braves. The first one went all Atlanta, 7-1 the final in that contest. Chris Sale was dominant. Today, Quinn Priester and Grant Holmes, a much-ado prospect, bounced around from org to org. He's really found a home with the Braves over the last couple of seasons. This one, the highlights pick up, though, in the third inning. Both teams had traffic the first 2 frames, but couldn't get anything going. Then in the bottom of the third inning, a leadoff single from the 9-hitter, Joey Ortiz. He gets things going. Then with 1 out, Jackson Chourio steps to the plate.
1-1. Smash to center. Backing up Michael Harris Jr. Back onto the track. Turning, watching it fly. It's up. It's gone! 2-run home run. Jackson Chourio. Over the center field fence. The Brewers strike first tonight. 2-0 in the bottom of the third as Chourio goes deep. It's his 11th of the season.
Josh Mauer on the call. Coming into the game, Grant Holmes had the league's best OPS against the first time through the order and the worst OPS against the second time through the order. Of course, Chourio's second look at him results in a homer. Contreras would hit a 1-out double, but the Brewers would leave him stranded in the third. Then we go to the 5th inning. The Brewers still with a 1-run lead at this point. After a leadoff double from Nick Allen, he scored on an Acuna Jr. RBI single, but erased on a double play. But a rally nearly formed on a Matt Olson blooper down the line.
Fly ball, left field, long run for Collins, foul territory, Collins, and now Caleb Durbin comes out of nowhere and makes a leaping catch and bangs into the tarp in the process. Oh, that was Collins' ball all the way. And at the very last second, he peeled off, and Durbin made a tremendous catch with no regard for his body.
Yeah, the top 10 play, no doubt, one of the best of the year for Caleb Durbin. Then Priester took it from there. In fact, the final 5 batters he faced after that RBI single from Acuna, he retired them all, and he finished it in style.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got him with the curveball. Quinn Priester, a tremendous outing here tonight at American Family Field. He goes 6, gives up just the 1 run, and his night likely done.
7 strikeouts matched a season high for Priester as well. But it's still only a 1-run game. Jake Bauers helping the cause.
Brings home the 2-0 pitch, and Bauers a fly ball to center. It is deep. Harris back, watching. Jake Bauers goes deep, and the Brewers lead it 3-1.
That's his 5th of the season for Bauers, 434 feet to straightaway center. The Brewers, they let an opportunity slip in the 7th. They loaded the bases with nobody out. The only run they scored was on a bases-loaded walk. They really could have blown it open in the 7th. Instead, they lead 4-1, but it was no problem for the bullpen. Uribe was scoreless in the 7th and the 8th inning. 2 innings work of him, and Trevor McGill on for the save in the 9th.
McGill's pitch, a high fly ball left field, but playable. Collins back to the edge of the track, makes the catch, and the Brewers have evened the series at a game apiece with a 4-1 victory here tonight in Milwaukee.
All right, the series is level. Rubber match tomorrow. We'll break it all down. Coming up next, 855-616-1620 is the phone number, 855-616-1620, right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99, feeds 5 to 8 people, and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Rivals meet again when the Brewers battle the Cardinals June 12th through the 15th. Be here for a duel between the Contreras brothers on the diamond and stay for one of the best weekends of the summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
What would your community be like without UW-Madison? The UW is one of the country's leading hubs for supporting life-changing research. UW-Madison helps make a healthier Wisconsin, build strong businesses, and win the war for workforce talent, not just in Madison, but across our entire state. Visit uwalumni.com/UW5 to tell your legislators to support UW-Madison in the Wisconsin state budget. That's uwalumni.com/UW5. Paid for by the Wisconsin Alumni Association.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Brewers win 4-1. If you're looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs, look no further than Fifth Third Bank. With a local team right here in Milwaukee, they know how to hit out of the park every time. And for 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that all helps your business thrive. You can experience the unique commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. Along with former Brewers pitcher Jerry Augustine, I'm Dom Cotroneo. You know, when we see development happen at the big league level, it's exciting because we can have every metric known to man and every stat and every velocity. I mean, everything you could want to possibly know. But when you talk to Chris Hook about what's actually changed for Quinn Priester, you know, there was a small mechanical tweak that they did with his front arm to have it a little more tucked and a little more under control as opposed to kind of wiping it out of the way and losing some velocity on that. And, you know, he's maintaining 95 with the sinker. The slider was the best it's looked all year. And we talked about this in his last couple of starts, too. When a sinker baller is getting swings and misses, he becomes extremely dangerous. And tonight, Quinn Priester, 6 strong, 7 strikeouts, 0 walks, and matched a career high with 14 swings and misses. What impressed you most about Quinn tonight?
You know, the impressive thing is that he pitches ahead. He's the kind of guy that throws it, keeps it in the strike zone, and you can see he's constantly working on trying to get better each and every time he goes out. Yes, everybody. So much talk has been about him being able to use that sinker, throwing ground balls. He still has those abilities, and he does a very good job at it. But you see him trying to figure out his game on where he can add things and become more effective. And I thought tonight his secondary pitches were fantastic. Mm-hmm. What made him tonight wasn't so much his fastball. He located it. When he needed it, he went back and got it and made some really good pitches with it when he needed it, but his secondary pitches were excellent. And the way he located that slider today, or that cutter, whatever you want to call it, was just excellent. He did it on both sides of the plate. When he needed it, it was on a consistent basis in a good location. And, you know, that's what you see. You see a young man go out there, number one, go out there and throw strikes. But you look at a game like tonight, the Brewers needed something special tonight. Mm-hmm. They needed a good pitching performance. He goes out there and he gives you 6 innings, a quality start, and what's most impressive, you said it earlier, no walks.
No walks.
He makes those guys put the ball in play with his pitches, and his secondary pitches played prominent tonight. And I tell you what, that was a big difference. And he's getting better. He's learning. He's still a student, but he's getting better each and every time he goes out.
There are 2 turning points that I want to point at today for Priester's start. And the first one was in the 2nd inning. He allows back-to-back 2-out singles, kind of lucky singles, right, with now runners on the corners and 2 outs against the 9-hitter Nick Allen. You know, you may be thinking, well, why is that an important at-bat? Well, because Ronald Acuna Jr. is on deck, and
That's
you do not want to face Ronald Acuna Jr. with runners on. And he gets ahead 1-2, ultimately strikes out Nick Allen with a cutter. That was big. And the second one was in the 3rd inning. So Acuna leads off the 3rd with a ground ball, broken bat single up the middle. Then strikes out Riley and Olsen, but after getting ahead of Ozuna 0-2, he falls behind the 3-2. And we've seen this song and dance from guys like Freddie Peralta before, and even Quinn has struggled with this too. We go from 0-2 to 3-2. It's a recipe for disaster with a man on first base, and he's able to get Ozuna in the line out to left field. If that inning continued, who knows what more could happen, but again, we're seeing development in front of our eyes, getting ahead like you're talking about, but also using the entire repertoire of the 7 strikeouts. He had 3 on the cutter. He had 2 on the slider, 1 on the curve, and 1 on the sinker. That's using your whole arsenal.
That's it. And we talked so much about how the secondary pitches, how a young man comes in and makes some changes and becomes a better pitcher. And they talked earlier about how Chris Hook has taken him under his wing and they've changed some things. A lot of times when you have pitchers and what he did, he tucked his front arm in to drive to the plate a little bit more. Sometimes when you spread your front hand out and you drive it to the plate, it takes you off balance, number one, when you're on the mound, number one, staying in good and balance. And the second thing, it makes you fly open with your front shoulder, and then your throwing arm drags a little bit and takes away from the quality of your pitches. Just by that little tuck there, keeps you more compact, gets everything going to the plate, and helps you get on top, where when you release the ball, whether it's a fastball, sinker, curveball, whatever, it looks like it's coming out of the same spot. It is something that young pitchers sometimes do. Everybody's a little bit different. Not Not everybody has to tuck his arm in, but everybody has to make some changes. They made some changes. He worked with it, and I'm going to tell you what, it really paid off tonight.
I agree. Let's get to the phone lines. 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. Ryan from Milwaukee, you're live here on Brewers Extra Innings.
Hey, Dom, Ryan here. Just cool game, 4-1, but it feels like a lot more happens. I think Quinn dealing with a lot of traffic was fun to watch. Got to be at the game tonight, but also a couple hits from Joey Ortiz, Jake Bauers with an absolute no-doubter that StatCast says was 410 initially. It was kind of goofy, but yeah, nothing too crazy on the scoreboard, but feels like a get-right spot, and cool to see them put together a full team win.
Yeah, I agree entirely there, Ryan. Thanks for the call. I mean, even on a night where we've complained about strikeouts plenty on the program before, too. I mean, the Brewers still struck out, 12 times tonight? And quite frankly, to use a golf term, we'll talk about the offense in the next segment, Augie, but to use a golf term, right, where it's like you go out and you play and you felt like you hit every green, but you had like 38 putts, and you're like, man, I shot 78, but it should have been a 69, right? It's like It felt like 4 runs was the fewest amount of runs the Brewers could have scored today.
Yeah, Ryan came in and said the game didn't feel like it, and I think it's when you talk about that when you go in and playing that complete ball game, and we talk about, first of all, it all starts with your pitching, and Quinn Dish did an excellent job. He controlled the game from inning 1. He made the pitches that he had to make. Defensively, they made some nice plays on the defense side of the game. Defense always plays a big role, and they got some key hits. Ortiz came up tonight again, got that big base hit, got that inning started where Chourio was able to hit the home run, and then we had the home run by Bauer. But, you go out, it's playing that good game. The game starts with settling in right from the start, and that started tonight with Quinn Priester. He just set the tone for this game, and some nights it's the pitching, some nights it's the defense, some nights it's your offense. You score a lot of runs. But tonight was a nice, quiet, positive game that the Brewers needed to have to get back in, tie the series up.
And by the way, this is only the 3rd game this year the Brewers did not have a walk across their entire pitching staff in the game.
I love that. I watch the game, and most of the time when you see guys go out there and young guys go out there and they throw strikes and they're consistent, and it means that, number one, they're not going deep in the counts. Quinn Priester did that tonight. Not walking people gives the opportunity for you to say, hey, you know what? You've got to earn it against me. As long as I command the strike zone, I'm going to do good things are going to happen. He had it tonight.
And if my score sheet is correct, of the 34 batters faced today, only 5 of them even reached 3 balls today. I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about here. The pitching, when it's ahead, it's dominant. And we know about the numbers when you're, ahead 0-1 versus 1-0, when you're ahead 1-2 versus 2-1. And it felt like the Brewers were winning a lot of leverage counts today. I mean, sure, we're going to welcome 14 whiffs from Quinn Priester all night long, but at the same time, 5 3-ball counts out of 34 batters is elite, and that's why he didn't have any walks.
Well, you're talking about Quinn Priester tonight. We just talked about it earlier, and they talked about what is he doing. He's trying to develop himself and come back with his secondary pitches, making him stronger, making him more consistent, being able to command him when he needs it. Well, you have a guy only going 5 3-ball counts, and he's working on things, being able to throw consistent strikes. That's right there saying that, you know what? He's a good student. He's worked at it. He knows what he has to do. He doesn't overdo things. He slows the game down. He's patient, and he throws strikes, and he did that tonight.
I agree entirely. Let's talk a little offense, though, because there were still plenty of positives. Good to see the long ball come back. It's on the other side of the break here on 620 WTMJ.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Flooring, carpeting, bath, or kitchen remodeling. Adair is the name Milwaukee has trusted for 65 years. This is Rob Adair. Ready to remodel? Give us a call, 761-3660. Get personal care from Adair, South 27th in Franklin.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Jerry Augustine is here as well. Brewers win 4-1. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. 855-616-1620. This text from Doug. 4 runs, the magic number, and it was again tonight. Having Bauers as the DH turns out to be a great move, and the pitching continues to amaze. The Brewers are now 31-5 when they score 4 runs. Seems like a recipe for success.
A number that you get every night. Let's have it.
Let's just get the 4. Just get the 4.
Get number 4 and see what happens.
Alex from Oshkosh, nice win for the Brewers as they slug their way back into the win column. Let's hope the Brewers win the series tomorrow after losing the series over the weekend to the Padres. I mean, we said this last night. They faced a Cy Young Award winner yesterday in Chris Sale, future Hall of Famer, and he had the goods. You know, it's one of those days. They only scored 1 run. And the last time the Brewers faced a Cy Young Award winner was Tarek Skubal in April, a series win that's aging beautifully right now, given they're the best team in the American League. And then the Brewers came back and won the next 2 games of the series. They have the opportunity to do it again tomorrow, and it has to come with the offense. Let's start with the homers. And Chourio, hitting number 11 on the year for him, matching his jersey number. Chourio to unlock dead center field. Now, I know he wanted to hit a grand slam late in the game. We can talk about that too. But for him to unlock center field, and we see him hit a home run to right field in Cincinnati, seeing him open up 2/3 of the field, not just be a dead pull hitter like we saw him unlock this time last year, with like, oh, hey, becomes a really, really dangerous hitter.
Yeah, he's such a unique young man and with so much talent. He's so quick on the inside part of the plate. They know that they can't make a mistake on in or half to him. If you go in on him, you better get the ball in because he's quick enough to go and get the ball. If it's on the white part of the plate, he can hit it and drive it. But so unique when you see him hit the ball the opposite way and back up the middle. When he stays back a little bit longer, takes whatever pitch it is. Yeah, they've been throwing him a lot of breaking balls lately. And you see a lot of breaking balls down in the way that he's been going after every once in a while. But you make a mistake up with him, he can put the bat on the ball and he can hurt you, and he did that tonight.
When you think about Chourio and some of the development that still is to come for him. I mean, he had an infield hit and a home run. I should probably do a StatCast search on that. But then striking out twice, on a third time up on a fastball when he only saw heaters in that at-bat, and then he strikes out on a curveball when, it's a full count, and it was a bad curveball. It was a hanger, but it was so bad it was good. But at the same time, the situation just calls for contact, and he's still swinging for the fences. I don't know the threading of the needle of stay aggressive, but also, as in the words of Pat Murphy, meet the game halfway.
Yeah, it looks like sometimes when they get him going, you see them throw a lot of breaking balls away down, trying to get him to go after it. And then where he really does, if you make a mistake in the middle half of the plate, the white part of the plate, he's going to hit the ball hard. But every once in a while, you see a pitcher who gets kind of smart on him, and they'll elevate that fastball. And it's not just an average fastball. It's one where they really reach back and get a little extra. He kind of swings through those pitches up in the zone. So when you see those things, and that progressive thing that he's working on is being able to adjust to those pitches away and that pitch up. When the pitchers get that in, sometimes they give him some trouble. But if they make that mistake with a fastball in off the plate just a little bit, or that ball in the middle up, he's going to hit it pretty hard.
Jake Bauers in the first inning with runners on first and second and 1 out. swung at a 2-0 pitch from Grant Holmes, rolled over to first. He beat it out that would have been a double play for Justin Fields' choice, but the Brewers couldn't get anything else in the first inning. He gets another 2-0 count in the 6th inning, didn't miss it, dead center, 434 feet. I know Jake isn't going to get everyday at-bats, especially with the way with Yelich being a DH, Collins playing well in left field, Hoskins trying to play as much first base, but maybe you give Hoskins a day tomorrow or something like that, given he's in a rut all of a sudden. But Bauers, man, is a role player that I know every other team wants to have a player like that available off their bench.
Boy, I really like him coming off the bench, and he does such a good job. But right now, if you look at the guys that they have in the lineup, you look at his last probably 5 or 6 at-bats, he's really had some really good at-bats. He's fought out the other night. He hit the fly ball to score a run. That was a good at-bat. That was a tough pitcher to face. Guy thrown in the upper 90s, and he was able to fight it off and get the run in. I just think right now, if there's a guy that's swinging the bat fairly decent, I like to see in the game a little bit more, it would be Bauers, because it looks like he's being patient at the plate, hitting the ball where it's pitched, and putting some good swings on it.
Yeah, I think the rest of this offense, though, too, we got to talk about Joey Ortiz, because he's quietly on a 4-game hitting streak, and I know there's a lot to be said by some people about Joey Ortiz's performance this year. Coming into yesterday's game, his OPS was under 500. And he knows, I promise you, he knows. Us bringing it up doesn't make things better. We can't hit for him. And the thing is, he's getting hard contact again. He's seeing the ball the other way. He hits a double yesterday off Chris Sale. He hits 2 hits today. He stole a base today. It's just little stack good days. Doesn't need to be a 20-game hitting streak, but hey,
right.
If you get a hit in 6 out of 9, if you get a hit in, if you get on base in 10 out of 16, like, okay. And it's just little steps like that keep the domino train rolling.
Well, that's part of this way this ball club is. You get guys on base, and when they get guys on base, they can cause a lot of trouble because they run the bases so well. But I've noticed out of Joey Ortiz probably the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks how he's trying to stay back. I think they're making some adjustments with him. Hitting coach are making some adjustment because I don't see him before trying to take a ball and try to jerk at the ball, try to hit the ball to left field on a more consistent basis. It looks like he's staying back and try to go in the opposite way. Now, if we see probably his last maybe 4 or 5 hits, they probably were center, right field. What was he trying to do? Staying back, being patient a little bit longer, trying to take his hands to the ball a little bit quicker and driving the ball that way. And he's done that. He's done a nice job of that. So it's interesting to watch him. He's done well the last couple games, swung the bat pretty well. Had a nice hit yesterday off of Chris Sale. And that's really good to see because, like you say, if he can get on base, get hits from time to time, but get on base, he's going to help the Brewers score runs.
Yeah, and when you look at Joey, we've seen him play very well in the first half last year. The Brewers know what's in there for him, so they're waiting on him to make the adjustment. This game is hard on your mentals, I promise you that, but he is starting to show signs of life, which is certainly encouraged. A couple of texts here. This one from Aaron in Illinois. Really like the decision by Murph to leave Abner in for a second inning. Abner got her dialed in right now. 46, Quinn Priester is my player of the game. Concerned about the K rate or the lack of slugging? I think the lack of slugging is cyclical. It will come back. I'm not saying the Brewers are going to suddenly be a slugging team like the Braves, but I think those two things are very connected in that the team that's pressing right now, they're not getting a lot of extra base hits. The K rate naturally goes up, and the slugging goes down, and when these things come naturally, the Brewers are still a solid middle-of-the-road slugging team last year. I think that's all they're asking for right now.
Yeah, and I think when you look up and down this order, it's not just 1 or 2 guys that are going to be your automatic home run guys. This is going to be pretty well balanced throughout. Are they going to have a guy with insurmountable number of home runs? Probably not. But they're going to get home runs up and down this order. They're capable of it, and in this such a good hitting ballpark, they have to utilize that. But this team does well when they get guys on base, and I think they're going to get better as the season goes along. Getting more times to get guys on base, they're going to drive the ball at the ballpark once in a while, but then they're going to start putting the ball in play. And like you said in that 7th inning, boy, they had a chance right there for a big inning and just couldn't do it. But those are you're going to see days when they start swinging the bat, putting the ball in play, you're going to score some runs there.
I agree. Ryan from Nashville also agrees on the Joey Ortiz conversation. I think his defense is so crucial, and the cupboard is bare behind him. Maybe 200 to go, 225. I think both of those are certainly in range for Joey. Hey, big news broke before the game today. Now this player is not in the clubhouse yet, so Jacob Mizorowski reportedly being called up to the big leagues on Thursday. What does this mean for the Brewers? Let's talk about that with Augie next here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win 4-1 over the Braves. Game 3 tomorrow at 1:10. Coverage will begin at 12:35 right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ. With Jerry Augustine, I'm Dom Cotroneo. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. Since 1912, Cider's been your go-to for home comfort. Through the end of June, you can take $10 off your AC tune-up. Call Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, or you can schedule online at Cider, SEIDER.com. In case you missed it, the big news earlier on Tuesday that the Brewers are, according to reports, Adam McCalvey, Kurt Hogue, all reporting this, as well as Jeff Passan of ESPN, so pretty reliable sourcing here, that the Brewers are calling up Jacob Misiorowski to start on Thursday against the Cardinals in the opener of that series. The question then was brought up to Murph, knowing he can't talk a lot about it since he's not on the roster and there needs to be a move, that, hinting around the fact that the Brewers see Jacob Misiorowski as a starter, not as a long reliever, not as a, at least at the time to make his debut. They see him as a starter. They've remained steadfast in that. There were times that maybe they were considering, and, they moved him to the bullpen last year to lighten his innings load and say, there's a chance this guy could help down the stretch and be a reliever. They decided, ultimately for his development, keep him as a starter coming out of camp this year, and he has rewarded them. He has been fantastic so far this year in AAA, and the word is he is going to make the start on Thursday. 100 miles an hour. It's pretty easy to get fired up for somebody like this with a 94-mile-an-hour slider. I mean, that was a elite heater with respect in your day, Augie.
Pretty special. Here's a kid with special talent, and coming out of spring training, there was so much thinking that he might make the club, and how are they going to use him? Are they going to put him in a bullpen? Could he eventually be a closer? What could they do with him? But I think they made the choice, and I think they made the right choice. Here's a young man that he was built in. He's been a starter his whole life. He's been pitched a starter. He's accomplished everything you need a starting pitcher to accomplish in AAA. Now give him the opportunity, and I tell you what, he'd be a real shot in the arm for our fan base here in Milwaukee, for him to come to pitch here in Milwaukee, but also this ball club, and for him to come in and to see what he is, see where he's at right now. It's going to be a learning situation. It's definitely coming up to the big leagues. It always is your first time, but it's going to be special.
I wonder how long he's able to stick around and what the real game plan is, and we can maybe talk about this more on Brewers Weekly tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Wednesday night on WTMJ. But, you know, you look at his line in AAA this year, 12 starts, 4-2 record, 2.13 ERA, 63 innings, 80 strikeouts, 31 walks, though. That's always been the Achilles heel for Jacob Misiorowski. But in the middle of May, he touched the surface of the sun. He had an 11 strikeout game working into the 7th against the Norfolk Tides. He had 7 strong with only 1 run allowed against the Memphis Redbirds, and then had to, you know, the big leaguers coming into rehab and kind of stunted his development a little bit. But now he's coming off 5 shutout innings with 7 strikeouts against the Gwinnett Stripers. So when you look at the roster dynamics of this, are they going to go to a 6-man rotation? Is somebody going to be the odd man out? Is it going to be Quinn Priester? Is it going to be Chad Patrick? We can explain all those options in a moment, but to get him on the 40-man, I mean, the easiest way to do it would put Garrett Mitchell on the 60-day IL, given he's still on the 10-day right now. But I think the Brewers have a roster plan in place thinking that they want to keep him up here. They want to call him up just to send him right back down after 1.
No, I think it's what is up here. And I think one thing that this organization does an excellent job at, and we talk so much about Chris Hook and what he does with his pitching staff, is trying to bring him up at a situation for success. You know, what sent him back down with an idea was get it where you feel very good with your command. You talked about the walks and the innings pitch. That's a big situation. That's a big situation when you come up to the big leagues and you're facing major league hitters. They're a little bit more patient. They're going to take more pitches, and you got to be able to command that strike zone. I think right now they feel that he's been commanding the strike zone down in the minors. So get him up here, see where he's at. You know, how long will he be here? Well, you hope he's here the rest of the year, but it's going to be a learning situation. And the Brewers have done that, if you remember, almost with a lot of their young pitchers. They bring them up, get him up here for several starts. If it's not right where they want to have him, they'll send him down and let him work on it, and it helps that pitcher to go down after he's experienced pitching here on the major league level.
I agree. So on the option front real quick, remember, Quinn Priester, the Brewers would prefer not to option him because he's only spent 9 days in the minor leagues this year when he was with the Red Sox, and thus, if he doesn't spend any more time in the minor leagues, the 20 days is when you lose that option year. They would like to keep that final option year intact for 2026. And then finally, you know, what do you do with Chad Patrick? If he shoves again tomorrow, it's like, are you really going to tell him, a Rookie of the Year candidate, thanks, you're going down to AAA for this kid? I mean, that's why I'm really convinced they're going to go with the 6-man rotation for the time being, because they've got 2 long men in that bullpen now in DL Hull and Aaron Ashby, and they both can handle leverage as it's been such proven. You could option Easton McGee. I don't know what exactly the plan will be, but I wonder if they're seriously considering the 6-man rotation because of the flexibility they now have in the pen.
I think that's one thing that you're thinking about. You're thinking about this is the time of the year you're getting to the middle part of the season where, you know what, you would like to give guys breaks, or you like to give them that extra day's rest. You know, we saw a little talking the other day with Freddie Peralta coming on a short rest, a little bit rest, not going to full rest like they usually do, and him going those pitches, and he said, I'm tired, and he came out of the ball game, could he have gone to next inning. I think what they're looking at is they want to make sure they keep everybody healthy as long as possible. And when you stretch them out for a 6-man rotation, you can do that. You have that opportunity for them to maybe not only throw that one time on the side, but maybe throw 2 times on the side. It's a learning situation. They've got some great, good young pitchers, and the guy that threw tonight is one of those guys who's still a student and still learning. What good does that do when you go to 6-man rotation and you can get that extra throwing on the side before you start? And that, I think they're looking at everything, whatever which way they do, it's going to be interesting, but they have a lot of options in which they can go out and either go with that 5-man or a 6-man.
Well, appreciate your coverage all week long here, Augie, as the Brewers, they send you on your way with a win, at least, before we talk to you again soon.
Coming back, win series. That's all I want them to do. Just continue win series. I know they've been struggling a little bit at the plate, but this is a team that, you know, every team goes into these slumps a little bit. They swung the bat really good on their last road trip. Now they got some important series coming up. When you go inside the division, you got to win the division. But hey, let's win tomorrow. Let's win this series first.
All right, Jerry Augustine here on 620 WTMJ. We're going to hear from Jake Bauers. He caught up with the network post game a little bit ago. That's up next on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
Okay, adventurers, listen up. Fox World Travel just dropped some seriously incredible Fox Group vacation destinations for 2026. Set sail on a yacht through the Croatian coastline, join a thrilling African safari, or immerse yourself in the mecca of all flower shows in London. And for the first time, we're introducing a woman's-only tour, partnering with Insight Vacations, Globus, and African Travel. But these are just a few of the exclusive offerings. But don't wait. They're filling up fast. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO to reserve your spot today.
Adair Floors has the newest flooring styles. Luxury vinyl flooring in plank and tile looks. Or choose from carpeting, hardwood, and porcelain tile. Flooring for every room in your home. Get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win 4-1. This series is going to be very important for the Crew. You know, this wild card race is going to be wild. By the way, Quinn Priestner ran away with the player of the game poll. 81% of the vote over on Twitter. 212 voters. This division, you know, I screenshotted it on my Twitter at Dom_Cotroneo, or on the wild card, I should say. San Francisco, 38 wins. San Diego, 37 wins. Philadelphia, 38 wins, but 29 losses. And the Brewers, by the way, have swept them. Cardinals, 36 wins. Brewers, 36 wins. And the Brewers have a 4-game series coming up this weekend with St. Louis. Maybe we underestimated or overestimated some teams in the National League, but the Brewers, as we wake up on June 10th, are still playoff contenders, despite how bad it was going in early May, despite the 0-4 start, and I think that's all you can really ask for. Well, let's hear from Jake Bauers. He caught up with Josh Mauer after today's game, hitting his 5th home run of the season.
Jake Bauers down by the clubhouse. Thanks for sticking around, Jake. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Take us through that swing there. Against Holmes, who you'd seen a couple of times earlier in the game. What did you get, and how good did that swing feel?
I feel like put myself in a similar position. My first at-bat, 2-0 count. Came out of it a little bit, got around the cutter, so was just looking to try and stay through the middle of the field there. Got a fastball out over the plate and executed pretty well.
Felt like a big win tonight for the team. You had a home run earlier in the game from Jackson Chourio, but I think the story other than that, Jake, was the way that Quinn Priester and the bullpen handled this Atlanta tough offense. I want to start by asking you about Quinn, not only tonight, but what he's been doing for over a month now. How much has he impressed you as he seems to get better and better every time he's handed the baseball?
Yeah, super impressive, super impressive. And I think what you've seen is him be comfortable a little bit more pitching to contact and getting all those ground balls. I think he's trusting his stuff a little bit more over the past month, and I think the results show that he should trust it.
2 innings from Abner Uribe, again, dominant stuff. I bet you're happy you don't have to face him, but watching Abner, it's another guy who seems to get more confident with every passing outing. What are you seeing from him these days?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm seeing 100-mile-an-hour sinkers and a nasty slider to go behind it, which is not a fun thing to have to deal with in the box. And I mean, when he's locating that slider like he is right now, that's a pretty impossible at bat.
Jake Bauers with us here at the beginning of the postgame show. Brewers beat the Braves 4-1 tonight. How are you feeling at the plate these days? You've had a lot of hard contacts that have found a glove, but still you've managed in the playing time you've got. This was your 5th home run. Overall, what's the sense of where you are right now, Jake?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident even regardless of results right now. I'm kind of separating myself from that. And that was my focus coming into the year, which is focus more on the process, trying to have consistent at-bats, and I feel like I'm doing that. And so if that's the case and the team's winning games, then I got no complaints.
Well, we appreciate you sticking around. Thanks so much for sharing those with us, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, Jake.
Yeah, sounds good, bright and early.
All right. Well, at least it's not a noon game anymore. Back to 1 o'clock tomorrow for these games. We'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, in just a moment as well. Brewers get the victory today by a 4-1 score. A couple of texts. This one from Nick. What a game for the Brewers. Felt like we were in control from the start. Wanted to comment and make a case for Abdi Uribe being an all-star. Hey, we saw last year with Brian Hudson having the great first half that he had, and he couldn't even get to be an all-star because it is almost impossible to be an all-star when you're a non-closer. I wonder who the Brewers representative is going to be, since Reese has really cooled off, and obviously, first base is a loaded position between Freddie Freeman and Pete Alonso and the fan vote. But, Terang has got an uphill climb with Ketel Marte and Brendan Donovan with the years they've had. Is it Freddie? Is it Chad Patrick? Because pitchers don't get voted on, they're appointed. So I wonder how that's all going to shake out for the crew. Or the Brewers fans can stuff the ballot box. You can have a say in this as well. We'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, coming up next here on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano from Wisconsin's Morning News. It's baseball season, which means Brewers 360 is back every day at 8:40. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Every day, all season long, we're joined exclusively by Brewers guests, including manager Pat Murphy and more. So Murphy, as we're wrapping up our interview.
Great talking to you. Really enjoyed it, okay?
I was like, you did? Is he just in a good mood, or what'd y'all do to Murph?
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavini for QC Kinetics. Big focus in America today on your health, and you're determined to look beyond pills and steroids and surgery to feel your best, right? I want to talk to the person who's in pain right now, or maybe it's someone you love. I've got chronic elbow pain. Maybe someone you love is dealing with that issue. You've done everything they told you to do. The pain just comes back. You're exhausted, but you don't give up. You want to meet someone who can fix that for you? Let's meet with Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team. They'll explain how their regenerative treatments take your body's own healing power and help restore your damaged tissue. These are well-respected protocols that include potent and powerful cellular-level treatments. QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics has helped tens of thousands of people, so many of them right here in Milwaukee. No masking the pain. They're going after the very source of it. Yes, you can say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
2. Fly ball, left field, long run for Collins, foul territory, Collins, and now Caleb Durbin comes out of nowhere and makes a leaping catch and bangs into the tarp in the process. Oh, that was Collins' ball all the way, and at the very last second he peeled off, and Durbin made a tremendous catch with no regard for his body.
Play of the Game is brought to you by Surfside, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. Pair perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Let's hear from the manager, Pat Murphy. Quinn Priester, obviously the headline today with 6 strong innings, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Murph was thrilled.
The kid has just been getting better and better, and
it's credit to the front office, for really picking this kid out specifically, saying we got a chance. And I remember like 3 weeks before we got him, Matt Arnold talking to me about like, hey, this is a guy that we want to go after. You remember him from the Pirates and blah, 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 blah. And of course we did, and, had a good arm. I didn't remember specifics. And, he talked about this great sinker and that they've done their research. And it's great to see it happen. When we first got him, he wasn't where he is today. So another credit to the pitching staff, pitching coaching staff for helping, and other pitchers helping him, get better. So, yeah, he's great. Poise, toughness, all the things you want.
Or if he used the secondaries a little more tonight, not just the sinker, got some more swing and miss, does it stand out that he was able to find a little bit of a different way to get outs too, even than he normally does?
Yeah, if you watch the Braves, they had such a great approach to a sinker. They stayed inside it, hit balls up the middle, hit balls the other way. I mean, it was like that was their approach to it. He got very few pull side ground balls from the right-handers, and you start seeing that. William's smart enough. William doesn't get enough credit. I say that all the time. But he doesn't get enough credit for how he picks up on things and then adjusts accordingly. So, yeah, he threw a bunch of cutters tonight and a bunch more breaking balls. But it's the kids coming into his own. It's pretty special. A lot of good performances. Great to see Chourio. William Contreras was great on both ends. Bauers hit the big homer, but Joey Ortiz, he had two important hits, and doing what he's been doing all year, and then have him come on the way he has in the last 5 or 6 games is really a good sign. And then Durbin's doing what Durbin does. He gets hit by a pitch every other game, and it's kind of cool.
Murph, how good are you feeling when you're putting Abner in the game these days?
Yeah, Abner's been really good. I tricked him a little bit. I told him you just have 2 hitters in the next hitter, because he got it out so quick in like 11 pitches or whatever the first inning. I said, you got 2 hitters. Because their lineup's kind of constructed against, their righties are so dangerous. It's hard to bring lefties in against them, Anyway, so I said, you got 2 hitters, and then he got the first 2 out, and he looked over, and I'm like, then he gave up a hit, and he looked over again. I'm like,
Murph, what does that do, though, when you get multiple innings from him?
Yeah, it's not ideal all the time, Soph, because you got to be able to use them the next day. You never want to do it in a time where, unless you used them the day before, and then you're not going to use them. But as good as he's throwing the ball and as confident as he is, that doesn't happen. The stretch that he's on is pretty special. Pretty special.
Murph, I'm guessing that if you look, most teams are pretty good when they homer. But for your club, how big is the home run, picking off some wins like this?
You hate to talk about it, because homers are thrown, and it's really hard when guys get up there and trying to do more than they can. And usually homers are hit, and guys don't think, wow, yeah, I was looking to hit a homer there. But, it's huge. Bauers is, anybody that's been following us for the time he's been here, he's hit some big ones.
Kind of a moment that was maybe lost a little bit in the 5th with the leadoff double, Acuna's RBI single, then you get the double play, and then Durbin's catch.
Yeah, I got that written right here. Durbin's catch was special. The kid's an athlete. He's coming into his own defensively, even offensively. The numbers aren't gaudy, but he's doing things that help us win, like winning player. And that's what we thought we got when Matt traded for him. We got a winning player here. And, he's living up to that, playing a position he's never played before, so proud of him.
I wonder if, you've got a sophomore at short in Joey Ortiz, a rookie at third in Caleb Durbin, a rookie in left in Isaac Collins, a redshirt sophomore in right with Sal Frelick, and a sophomore in center with Jackson Chourio, who, by the way, is still the youngest position player in baseball. And this team is in the hunt for a wild card. Pretty impressive stuff. Say some parting thoughts as we say goodbye. Give you the upcoming broadcast schedule after this on 620 WTMJ.
Rivals meet again when the Brewers battle the Cardinals June 12th through the 15th. Be here for a duel between the Contreras brothers on the diamond and stay for one of the best weekends of the summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Hey, ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Save big on everything for your next staining project when you shop at Menards. Transform your home in one weekend with exterior stain and sealer from Dutch Boy. It provides one-coat protection on decks, fences, siding, and outdoor furniture, and repels rain after just 4 hours of application. That means quicker results, saving you both time and money. Check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. Final segment as we say goodbye. Quick correction. Breaking news across the wire. Jackson Chourio is no longer the youngest position player in baseball. That title is now 2 days old to Roman Anthony. Got his first big league hit tonight, so congratulations to Roman. Roman is just barely 2 months younger than Jackson Chourio, both born in 2004, if that makes you feel old. But anyway, still, second youngest player in baseball. Point still stands. Real quick, I just tweeted a moment ago a quote tweet of just back in April when the Brewers acquired Quinn Priester, and the instant reaction to that trade on social media was a lot of vitriol, a lot of how could they do this, oh my goodness. A reminder what the trade was. Yoferi Rodriguez, an outfield prospect who's a teenager still and has a lot of development to go. He's in high A. A competitive balance pick, which was the compensation for losing Willy Adames in free agency. It's a pick worth just shy of $3 million. And then a player to be named, which was Blake Holubetz, who's a pitcher now going over, who was in high A at the time. 3 months of this trade does not make it a slam dunk win or a lose. Okay. The Willy Adames trade is obviously well documented, of a trade that at the time people were like, well, why'd they cut Arcia? This guy's got the same batting average. And then little did you know what was going to happen. I'm not saying Quinn Priester's Willy Adames, but yet, you give up some big pieces like Drew Rasmussen, who, by the way, is finally healthy and looking like the Drew Rasmussen the Brewers knew that they were drafting. And unfortunately, injuries have been a big part of his career. And then you think about JP Fireeyes, and he's been passed around quite a bit over the last couple of seasons. But for trades, these are smart front offices, mostly. And with the trades, you're not trying to fleece somebody. Sometimes it works out that way, like it worked out with the William Contreras deal. Not every trade is going to be that way, right? I would say the Rays-Brewers trade for Adames is obviously a win-win. The Red Sox hope it's going to be a win-win. They traded pitching depth really early in the year, gambling on the pick and the player to be named, and Yoferi Rodriguez. But a reminder, Yoferi's 19 years old in high A. His OPS right now is 606 in the Red Sox org in Salem. Like, it's not anything to dunk on. This trade is far from over, but it's just that, again, we laugh at prospect writing because how hard it is. Just go look at the top rankings for the Brewers just 4 years ago, right? Ethan Small and Joey Weimer, and these guys are big leaguers. I totally tip my cap. They did something I could never dream of doing. But it's just a reminder, this game is hard, this sport is hard, and it's good to see Quinn Priester continue to develop at the big league level when the Brewers really, 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 really needed him. So, as we get ready to say goodbye, again, program schedule for tomorrow. We will not have a live Brewers Extra Innings after tomorrow's game, given it's a weekday day game, but we've got an 8 o'clock Brewers Weekly tomorrow night instead of Thursday night because, well, we got a game Thursday. So we still have Brewers content for you live here on WTMJ tomorrow night as well. Again, 8 o'clock airtime, hour-long show. It's available on your podcast feeds, Brewers All Access as well, wherever you get your podcasts. Then, post-game shows on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Every single day of this 10-game homestand, we have had some piece of content for you here on WTMJ. And then, finally have an off day on Monday. All right. And then it's on to Wrigley to take on the Cubs, and the first time down at Wrigley this year. So that's your upcoming schedule here for the crew. We will talk more about Bizarowski tomorrow once that picture comes clear of what the move could be, what the Brewers are planning, and if he is still starting on Thursday. Our producer has been Matt Yazel tonight. My thanks to Jerry Augustine as well. My name is Dominic Cotroneo. Talk to you tomorrow night on Brewers Weekly. Until then, keep on swinging.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about